Morning, guys. I'm Katie, the Education Director here at Carolina Tiger Rescue, and I am here with Elvis Serval, and I'll tell you about his story in just a little bit. I'm sorry we missed you yesterday. We had some crazy storms here at the rescue and here in central North Carolina, so we wanted to make sure everybody stayed safe and took the morning off. At least for the lives. We did not actually take the morning off. We were busy making sure everybody was safe and healthy. We're gonna see how long Elvis hangs out with us as we read our story, and then I promise we'll get as good of a look at him as we can, and I will tell you about his story because he's got a pretty interesting one, and that is for sure. So welcome to Tiger Tales Tuesday. Behind the camera today we've got Marissa.
Good morning.
And our story today is Felina's new home, a Florida Panther story.
Woo-woo.
Florida Panthers are the same thing as cougars, mountain lions, mountain screamers, mountain screechers. They have over 70 different names, which is pretty awesome. And we will hopefully see Star Cougar later this week. I think we are planning to feed her on Friday, so we get a good look at her. And then we also met Bo last week, so if you missed that one, head back to our website, our YouTube channel, and you can see us chatting about Bo. All right, so let's get started. Elvis, you ready?
Yeah. Totally ready, Katie.
He's totally ready. Felina, the Florida Panther, loved growing up in her forest home. Her mother taught her how to hunt when she was hungry, where to find cool water to drink when she was thirsty, and where to rest when the sun shone brightly. So if you remember and you watched last week when we talked about Bo, Bo wasn't this small when he came to us, but he did still have some of his spots. And then as they get older, they lose those spots. Felina was growing, but it seemed her forest was shrinking. One day when she went to take a nap under one of her favorite trees, but the trees had vanished. "Without my trees to shade me, where can I rest?" Felina mumbled. "We wondered that too," a tiny voice said. Felina looked around and saw a pair of red cockaded,
you're good.
woodpeckers. I don't know much about birds, guys, sorry. Staring at the barren field. "We used to rest inside these holes in these trees," the father woodpecker added. "And that's where we would raise our family," said the mother woodpecker. "Now we don't know what to do. If only the trees were still here, we'd both have a place to rest," Felina said to the couple. Felina went down a small dirt path she had traveled many times before, but she couldn't believe her eyes. A road had blocked her from getting to the other side. With all the fast cars on this busy road, how can I get to the other side? Felina pondered aloud. "Don't worry, the vultures are back."
It's true.
"I wondered that too," said a sad voice. Felina looked down and saw a gopher tortoise staring at the road. "There's a great place for me to eat berries on the other side of this road," the gopher tortoise cried. "But the cars are going so fast I'll never make it across. Now I don't know what to do. If only people slowed down to look for us, or would build a safe way for wildlife to cross the road, we'd both be able to make it to the other side," Felina said to the tortoise. Too scared to cross the road, Felina decided to look for a safer place to rest. When she walked past tall cabbage palms, Felina couldn't believe her eyes. Noisy people were in her forest. "Don't people know that their loud noises scare shy animals like me?" Felina muttered aloud. "I'm having a hard time finding a place to nap." "I wondered that too," a voice whispered. Felina saw a wood stork staring at her. "I'm looking for a quiet place where I can relax," the wood stork added. "But those people make so much noise that I'm scared to go anywhere near them. Now I don't know what to do." "If only people remembered that loud noises frighten shy animals like us, we both wouldn't feel so scared," Felina said to the stork. Felina walked towards the bay. but stepped on the edge of a sharp soda can and cut her paw. Felina couldn't believe her eyes. People had left garbage everywhere. Don't people know that animals are hurt by their pollution? Felina cried. I wondered that too, a rumbling voice said to Felina from the bay. Felina looked in the water and saw an American crocodile surrounded by floating garbage. The garbage people throw away can harm all types of animals, especially if they get tangled up in it, the crocodile added. Plus, the fish I hunt get sick when they live in polluted water. When I eat sick fish, I feel sick too. Now I don't know what to do. If people would stop polluting, we'd both have cleaner homes to live in, Felina said to the crocodile. Felina's stomach growled, so she crossed the freshwater marshes and pine flatwoods to the hunting grounds where her mother had taught her how to hunt deer as a kitten. But now the fields were covered with human homes. She didn't like being near people, but Felina was hungry. Felina couldn't believe her eyes. A human was giving food to the deer she wanted to eat. If the people weren't feeding the deer, I wouldn't come so close to their homes. Don't they know how bad it is to feed wild animals? I wondered that too, a high-pitched voice said to Felina from the river. Felina looked back towards the water and saw a Florida manatee with large scars across her back. When people feed the animals, they attract predators like you. If the people see you, they'll get scared and may try to hurt you, said the manatee. Plus, other animals get hurt too. People used to give me water from their hoses or lettuce to eat, so I started coming up to them all the time. Once I came too close to a boat, looking for food, and look what it did to my back. Now I don't know what to do. If people would stop feeding wild animals, we'd both be safer, Felina said to the manatee. I'm impressed you can talk to all these different animals.
It's a magical land, Florida.
Who knew cougars could talk to all these animals? It's pretty awesome. Felina searched for food and a better place to live, but all she could find were more and more people. They seemed to be everywhere. While looking for food one day, a man shot her with a tranquilizer. When Felina opened her eyes, she was in a cage surrounded by many other animals. What is this place? Felina asked aloud. You're at a rescue shelter, a handsome young panther told Felina. I'm Felix from Texas, but you can also call me a cougar, mountain lion, or puma. I'm Felina. Why do you have so many names, Felix? Panthers are found all over the place, so people call us many different things. But you're the most rare of us all, a Florida panther. Why am I here, Felix? Felina asked. You were very sick when they found you. Rescue people brought you here, just like the rest of us. Don't worry, these are good humans. They'll help you. And they did. Felina's belly was full, and she grew stronger and stronger every day. One day the humans gave her something that made her feel very sleepy. Felina woke up and found herself in a new forest home. The new forest looked large and beautiful. She sniffed the air. Off in the distance, she could smell deer to hunt. And even more exciting was the scent of male Florida panthers nearby. Best of all, Felina didn't smell, see, or hear any sign of humans. Not even those who had brought her here. This place was special. It was protected. There were plenty of trees to rest under, no loud noises to frighten her, no scary roads to cross, no pollution, and no people feeding wild animals. Would the humans keep this place safe for her and her kittens she wanted to have in the future? She hoped so. At long last, Felina had found her home, and she was very, very happy. All right, so that is Felina's new home, a Florida Panther story. This one is also for sale in our gift shop, and just like Big Cat, Little Kitten, or Little Kitty, sorry, that we had last week, It has awesome stuff in the back to tell you all about what endangered and threatened animals are and how you can help them in the Florida panther life cycle. And then also some really cool animals that are native to Florida. So I like this one because it obviously gives us lots of different ways that we can help wild animals by, of course, not encroaching on their lands and cleaning up after ourselves. And Earth Day is right around the corner, and so it's always a time to take a look at what can we do better for the earth and for these animals, not just the animals here at Carolina Tiger Rescue, but the animals out in the wild as well. So again, if you're interested in that, that is available in our gift shop, which you can get to on our website. And now I'm super impressed. He hung out with us the entire time. It's like they know. So this is Elvis. And Elvis, do you want me to take that and you come around?
Sure.
Hold on, guys. There you go. So this is Elvis. Marissa's going to come around. And Elvis is a serval. Servals are native to Africa. We've met a few servals so far. We've met Savannah and Zoe. And Elvis has a similar story to those in that he originally was privately owned. We don't know where, but we got a call several years ago from a woman on a Sunday morning that said, "Hey, I've got this serval, or my friend has this serval and it's not really working out." And that was no big surprise to us because these guys are, again, wild animals. And they asked for us to take him that day. And one thing that it is important to keep in mind is whenever we rescue an animal, we rescue them for the rest of their lives. So we have to think long and hard. Do we have the space for that animal when it needs to be rescued? Do we have the money to support it? Or any other medical issues that may come up? And so we told the woman, hey, you know what? It's Sunday. The people that make those decisions, they are not on site today, but let us have your name and your number and we'll call you back first thing tomorrow. When we asked for the woman's name and number, she promptly hung up. And you're probably going, but Elvis is here. So Elvis was dropped off sometime overnight out front of our gate. And our curator, who was living on site at the time, had let her dogs out the next morning. Noticed that there was a dog crate out front, so she put her dogs back inside. And she went to, he's interested because one of our keepers is coming around to do waters. She went over to see that inside that dog crate there was Elvis, and there was a note on top, and it said, "Hi, my name is Elvis. My family loved me very much, but can no longer take care of me. They fed me the best wild cat food money can buy, gave me plenty of room to roam. I just am too much to handle. Love me, tender Elvis." When we got a good look at Elvis, when our vets got a good look at Elvis, we realized that they weren't really telling the truth. So he weighed far less than he should have. He also had very little fur on his face, which told us he probably spent most of his time in that dog crate. Because he was too much to handle, likely eating things inappropriately and was aggressive. And because we weren't aware that he was coming, we did not have quarantine ready, and we actually had animals in quarantine at that time. So we had to do put Elvis in an enclosure away from everybody else to do quarantine for him. And when we released him into that enclosure, he walked in a 3-foot circle, which again told us he probably spent most of his time in that dog crate. He also, upon his physical, it was noticed that he has scarring on his neck where an embedded collar likely had to be removed. Odds are they put that collar on him as a kitten. He grew too big and too aggressive, and that collar grew into his neck. And the people who had him likely had to take him to a vet, and that collar had to be surgically removed. These are all things, unfortunately, that happen when you have a wild animal in your house and you are ill prepared to take care of them because, again, they're wild animals. What's fantastic about this guy, though, is the first week that he was here out in his outdoor quarantine enclosure, he caught, killed, and ate a black snake that slithered through his enclosure. So here is an animal who likely had never spent any length of time outside in his life. A snake came through, and instinctually he knew exactly what to do with it, which just is a reminder, they are wild and they are dangerous. It doesn't matter that they were born in captivity. They maintain those instincts. They do know what to do with them, and that makes them predators and not pets. I think we have time for a couple questions.
Katie, there was a question earlier about why the vultures are always around us when we're doing the Facebook Live events.
So the vultures are typically just around us because typically when we're around there's some sort of food, and they are hoping to get remnants of that food. So it has less to do with the time of day and just more the fact that there are people, and typically people mean food. If you do notice, because he got up, Elvis does have 3 legs. He actually came to us with 4 legs. A couple years ago, we noticed one morning on rounds, our keeper noticed that he wasn't putting any weight on his back left leg. I'm gonna go around the side there.
Yeah.
We got him boxed up and took him to, well, that's not helpful.
Nope.
And took him to our vet at an emergency clinic, and they sedated him and got an x-ray on that leg. We found he had about 12 breaks in that back left leg. If your cat or dog at home suffers breaks like that, the best course of action for them as well would be to probably amputate it. There may be a way to put in pins and put them in a cast and put them with the cone on it so they leave the cast and all alone, but on a wild animal such as this, that is just nearly impossible. We also know that they heal better if they're in their own space, so we wanted to get them back outside as quickly as possible. So the decision was made to go ahead and remove that leg, amputate that leg. The good news is his 3 other legs were just fine. It took him a couple days to work out his new balancing act without it, but he has handled it beautifully. He can still get up on his platforms and gets around just fine. When we do his physicals, we do go ahead and do x-rays because there is more weight on that back right leg because he no longer has the back left leg. And so when we did his physical last year, we noticed that he didn't show any signs of arthritis or anything in those legs, which is fantastic news for him. So far, he is doing beautifully with it. It's something we'll keep an eye on, but he is doing fantastic.
Katie, someone asked how much Elvis eats.
How much does Elvis eat? So Elvis eats a size small, which would be...
He's extra small. Is it? He's got one of
Oh,
each.
you're right. Sorry. The angle, it says S.
It's true.
Extra small, so he gets about a chicken thigh worth of food 6 days a week. He is one of ours. If you tuned in on Friday, we had to hammer Savannah's food. We also hammer Elvis's food. Sometimes the bone, if it's not hammered, gets stuck in his teeth, which obviously is not ideal for him. We also, again, want to make sure he's getting all that bone that's important to his diet. So we do hammer his food. He gets an extra small, which is about a chicken thigh's worth of food. You may notice too, Tio's in the background there. When Elvis first moved to this enclosure, I think it was last year, he had never really seen a big cat before. And for the first couple days, he actually spent most of his time in his tunnel between his 2 shifts. But now there's his tunnel to go back and forth. So he's got this right shift he's in, and then he's got a left shift as well. And he has settled in beautifully to this enclosure, and now it seems he enjoys watching Tio and his antics over at next door. And then across the tour path, he's got 2 caracals, which are a little harder to see right now, Kitwana and Zari. And then LA, one of our keepers, is changing out waters this morning. Hi, LA! They get fresh water every day. Oh, I didn't tell you. We have no idea how he broke his leg. Sorry, somebody asked how he broke his leg. We don't know. We've asked him. He won't tell us. We actually don't have, we scoured his enclosure. Multiple people scoured his enclosure that day to make sure that there was nothing there that was dangerous. We didn't find anything. Sorry, the lines are going. So we don't even venture a guess because guesses become rumors, and then suddenly he was skydiving and missed his landing. That's not what happened. We don't know. We asked him, he won't tell us. So we're not exactly sure how he broke that leg. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in this morning and joining us to read our book. Again, this book is available in our gift shop online, and we'll get that sent out to you. Tune in tomorrow. We are going to meet two tigers, fingers crossed, that Roscoe decides to come up and see us, that live away from the tour path and that many people don't get to see. Their names are Roscoe and Camilla. And yeah, we hope you have a great day. It's a gorgeous day here in North Carolina. We hope it is where you are as well. Get out and enjoy the weather, and stay safe, stay healthy, and we hope to see you guys soon. Bye, guys.